Hey everyone! Have you ever thought that the one-way interaction where the host talks and the audience listens might no longer be exciting? Today, I'm going to take you on a journey to explore how to create a voice chat room and make it more fun and interactive. In this room, the audience can not only participate by sending comments and gifts, but also actively join the conversation by taking the mic. Of course, if necessary, they might also be kicked out. What's even more interesting is that everyone's voice can be altered using a voice changer. This video will show you step-by-step how to add these features to your app. The related technical documentation is linked in the description. Next, I will introduce how to quickly integrate a voice chat room module into your iOS project. First, let's go to the trtc.io website, click on Developers, then Live, and then Voiceroom Integration to access the integration documentation for the voice chat room. This document tells us how to quickly integrate a voice chat room feature, which mainly involves 6 steps: activate the service, import the component, configure the project, log in, create a voice chat room, and join the voice chat room. Steps 5 and 6 are about the application of the voice chat room. Before integration, let's look at the environment preparations. We need Xcode 15 or later, as well as a device running iOS 13.0 or later, and a local CocoaPods environment installation. If you haven't installed it locally, you can click to view this document and follow the guide to complete the CocoaPods environment installation. Step 1. Activate the service. Before using Tencent RTC's audio and video services, you need to go to the console and activate the audio and video services for your application. We click on the link to jump to the console. Once in the console, click on Create Application. Here, enter a custom application name, Chat Together. Click on Live, then select the deployment region. I choose Singapore here, and click the Create button to complete the creation. Open the project we just created. There are 2 important pieces of information in this project. The first is the SDK app ID, which represents the current application ID. The other is the SDK secret key, which will be used when registering user signatures. Reaching this step means that the application's service has been successfully activated. Now let's return to the documentation. Step 2. Import the component. This step is simple. You just need to add 1 line of code to your PodFile file, pod.tui livekit. If you don't have a PodFile file, first terminal cd into the Xcode Proj directory, and then create it with the following command pod init. Then open the created PodFile file and add the corresponding code. After adding the code, we run pod install to complete installing the component. If you want to install the latest version of TUI LiveKit, you can execute the last 2 lines of code. Next, let's take creating a new project as an example to import the component. First, open Xcode, create a new iOS project, and the project name is Chat Together, language is Swift. Click Next. Click Create. This way we have created the iOS project. Next, open the terminal. Enter cd desktop. Cd Chat Together to enter the directory of the created project. You can see that there is no PodFile file in this project, so execute pod init. You can see that the PodFile file has been generated. Open PodFile. Copy and paste pod.tui livekit on this line. At this point, we have completed the installation and filling of the PodFile file. If you want to run the program on the simulator later and your computer chip is an M-series chip, you need to make an additional configuration here. We need to add this configuration. Execute pod install in the terminal. Let's first execute an ls command. You can see that we already have an Xe workspace file. Let's open it. Open the pod directory. You can see that we have successfully imported the TUI LiveKit voice chat room component. Let me declare again this code that we just added. If you are running on a real device rather than a simulator, then you don't need to add this code. After importing, let's look at Step 3. Step 3. Configure the project. This step only has two parts. To use audio and video features, microphone and camera usage permissions are required. Alright, let's go back to the project and open the info.plist file. Click the plus sign, enter privacy, and find the camera permission. Then click the plus sign again, enter privacy, and find the microphone permission. Here you can add descriptions for requesting microphone and camera permissions. We can refer to the descriptions in the documentation. TUI LiveKit needs access to your camera to capture video. TUI LiveKit needs access to your mic to capture audio. Now we have completed the configuration for requesting microphone and camera capture permissions. Before Step 4, log in, let's run the program first. Here we choose Xcode Simulator to run. We select iPhone 16 Pro. Click Run and see if there are any issues. It shows a compiler error, but don't worry. You can see it's reporting an error related to Sandbox. Let's go back to the documentation. At the very beginning of the document, you can see Q&A. Click on it. You can see the first question is about a similar Sandbox error, and the corresponding solution is to find user script sandboxing in the project and change yes to no. Okay, let's take a look. Return to the project, click Build Settings, enter User Script, and you can see the parameter corresponding to User Script Sandboxing. Change it from yes to no. Then let's run it again. You can see that the app has been built successfully and the simulator has opened. Step 4. Log in. Before using the voice chat room service, we need to log into this voice module to activate its functionality. TUI login mainly includes three parameters: SDK app ID, user ID, and user signature. SDK app ID is the ID obtained when creating the application in Step 1. Remember, you can see the ID of the application we created here in the console. User ID is the ID of the current user, a string type. User signature, abbreviated as UserSig, is the authentication credential. You can get it by using the SDK secret key to encrypt information such as SDK app ID and user ID. There are two ways to obtain user signature. The first method is by clicking the User Sig Generate button in the console. The second method is algorithm generation. You can call the algorithm yourself to generate the corresponding user signature. You can see the specific operation method in this document. Today we won't use this method for now. We'll choose the first method and use the console to generate user signature. Let's configure it in the project first. Copy this TUI login code. Open the iOS project. Click appdelegate.swift. Find the application, did finish launching with options function, and paste it in. Also import TUI core. Next, replace SDCAP ID with the ID we just created for the application. For user ID here, we can replace it with any ID of our own. I'll use CRAB as an example. User signature is obtained through the console. Let's return to Step 4 of the integration document and click on User Sig Generate here. When you come to the console, there's Development Tools, open it, and you can see User Sig Tools. Select the application we just created. Enter the custom user ID CRAB we just set, click Generate, and copy the generate result here, which is the user signature. Now let's run it again. Search for login. You can see login success, which means we have successfully logged in. Now return to the document. Step 4 is completed. Step 5. Create a voice chat room. Let's do a simple configuration for the iOS project. We select main.storyboard, click the plus sign in the upper right corner, and add 2 buttons. Name the first button Create. Then we create another button and name it Join, which is for joining the voice chat room. Find Resolve Auto Layout Issues in the bottom right corner. First select the Create button, then click Add Missing Constraints here. You can see that both buttons have been configured with constraints. Click the upper right corner to hide the inspectors, then click the Add Column button to jump to ViewController.Swift and bind an event to the Create button. Click Touch Up Inside, drag it here, create a function, and name it Create. Then select the Join button, add a Touch Up Inside event, create a function, and name it Join. Okay, let's check. This is Touch Up Inside, and this is also Touch Up Inside. We close this file and come to the code part. We first create a voice chat room, we copy this code and paste it here. Let's correct this code a bit. Import TUI-LiveKit. Step 6. Join the voice chat room. Copy this line of code and paste it here. In other words, enter the room ID of your voice chat room, which consists of English letters, numbers, and underscores. I named my voice chat room VoiceCrab, and the room ID to join is also VoiceCrab. These 2 code segments cannot be executed simultaneously. The first code can only be executed by the room owner, while the second code is executed by the audience, requiring 2 devices. We run Create on the first device and Join on the second device. We'll use the iPhone 16 Pro simulator to run the room owner's device, logged in as Crab. Alright, the demo app has been installed on the iPhone 16 Pro. Now let's switch to a different user ID, for example, ABY. While changing the user ID, we also need to update the corresponding user signature. Go back to Step 4, click on User Sig Generate, select the application we just created, enter the user ID AB, click Generate to obtain the user signature, and return to the app to replace it. Switch to another simulator, iPhone 16 Pro Max, to run as the audience's device and execute Join. First, hide the code and place both devices on the desktop simultaneously. You can see it's installing now. Okay, at this point, we'll hide the code. First, use the first device, Pro, to open Chat Together. Pro is for user Crab, and Pro Max is for user AB. Crab is responsible for creating the voice chat room. We can choose to change the cover of the live room. Let's select this background. We can also change the category of this live room. There are 5 room types. We'll choose the first one, Daily Chat. As for the live room mode, there are 2 choices, public and private. We can enter the room name Chat Together. Here we can also choose to change the background of the chat room. At the same time, we can play music, for example, select the first song, Cheerful, or choose the next song. Okay, pause. We can set whether users should get the owner's permission before gaining microphone access to speak. Here, we'll check Yes. In the audio section, we can also enable Ear Monitor and set Ear Monitor Volume, Music Volume, and Voice Volume. This voice chat room also has voice changer and reverb functions. Click Go Live. And now we've entered the voice chat room. Let's look at the second device, iPhone 16 Pro Max, acting as the audience. Click Join to enter the voice chat room. Let's first mute the host's microphone. Now, let's look at the functions of the voice chat room. On the left is the audience side. and on the right is the host side. Both can send bullet comments. For example, I'll send an emoji. Let's send another emoji. Send a hello. The audience can request to speak. The host can receive the request and can reject it. The audience can request again, and the host can click Agree. The audience agrees to turn on their microphone. You can see now both are on the mic. When the audience turns their microphone on or off, you can see their microphone status. When they speak, their avatar shows sound waves. The host, or room owner, can mute the audience. If the host removes the mute restriction, the audience can turn their mic on or off again. If the host clicks Hang Up, it kicks the audience off the mic. The audience can give likes to the host. They can also send gifts. Here are some large full-screen gifts. But due to network issues, the images aren't loading at the moment. There's also a recharge button for sending gifts. The room owner can invite the audience to speak. The audience can decline. If we invite again and the audience accepts, they can speak. The audience can also click Hang Up to leave the mic voluntarily. The host can lock seat. After locking, the audience can't click this seat to request to speak, but they can request other seats. Take seat. The host can choose to reject. This button determines whether the audience requires the owner's consent to speak. If turned off, the audience can speak freely without requesting permission. In the top left corner is the host's account information. Since no avatar has been set yet, we can't see their avatar. Here's the room ID, and you can follow the host. The top right corner shows the current online audience list. Since the audience's avatars haven't been set, we can't see them at the moment. The host has other function settings in the bottom right corner, such as setting the background. You can see the background has changed. Let's play some music. As mentioned earlier, there are many functions that can be set in the audio section. Unmute the host, and the audience can click the button in the top right corner to exit the live stream. The host can also end the live stream. After the host ends the live stream, you can see the live data panel, showing the duration of the broadcast, the number of gifts received, gift income, number of likes, number of messages, and so on. This concludes the basic demonstration of the voice chat room functions. Let's go back to the integration documentation. Here we have more features such as room list, follow anchors, barrage, and gift. On the left side of the documentation, you can also see more voice room features, universal features, and some customizable functions. This mainly involves customization of various modules, such as room information, audience list, mic position information, sound effects, bullet comments, barrage, and gifts, all of which can be customized.